pandemic. And these are Schoology as well as the Kahoot. And the presenter is yours truly, Raphael Kevin Nagal. And well, the quotation that you can actually see there is actually very reflective of what we're going to have, which is it's never too late to play. So, classroom can also become a playroom for some, but of course, we have to control that, right? So, in the old normal, so we can actually do things like this, face-to-face interactions. We can even have gamifications during our face-to-face interactions with the students versus other students, group of students versus other group of students, or between sections of different grade levels as well. However, in the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic, the coronavirus, as what we are actually, as we know that, it actually hindered our face-to-face interactions. It limited our engagement with our students due to the health protocols, such as social distancing, as well as other protocols associated with it. And luckily, and unfortunately, this actually emptied our classrooms. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call as the new normal. So, how can we adapt with the new normal, right? So, we are actually not going to make the new normal adapt with us, but rather we adapt with the new normal. And, well, the existence of the platforms that we have can actually overcome that problem. So, may I introduce to you first, the two platforms that I mentioned earlier are the Schoology and Kahoot. So, what's the theory behind these online platforms? I just don't know if it was already presented to you in one of your previous lessons, but based on research, when you enhance student engagement or classroom engagement, this will also enhance your teaching quality. So this is actually the premise behind the experiential learning. No? So when we enhance classroom engagement, like there are a lot of collaboration, communication, as well as discussions between student and student, students and teachers, teachers and student. At the same time, your quality of teaching is also enhanced. And thus, this will also enhance knowledge retention of the topic at hand. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you to one of the platforms that we have. First one is Schoology. So what is Schoology, as what we actually know about it, is that it actually provides delivery of online course or online learning, and of course, we can actually call it as blended because sometimes we can actually include not just modules, but also we can include videos and synchronous presentations here. So at the same time, Schoology also provides tracking and reporting of learning as well as progress of your students. So similar to other online platforms that we have, like the Google Classroom, we can actually do the same thing as this one. And it is safe and monitored learning network for teachers and students. So based on these ideas, based on these features of Schoology, we can therefore say that Schoology can actually provide better communication, better collaboration, and enhanced access to curriculum and supplemental content. So based on these ideals, we can actually see that Schoology is more of like a social media that is being controlled to become academic. Okay? So I think kita nyo dahil ang mga features, no, in Facebook or like in Instagram or Pinterest. So in Schoology, you can have more voice or participation, meaning that the students can actually add comments and so on and so forth. There are a lot of writing opportunities. And yeah, they need to back up their opinion showing facts from reliable sources. So they can actually paste there the reliable sources that they had. So of course, it doesn't include those that are not peer-reviewed. So discussion in regard to Schoology is very accessible. Okay, both in writing and in voice commands. So there are also safer YouTube viewing with regards to video modules if you have one. So the good thing about Schoology is that it blocks ads as well as non-related videos that are being flashed in YouTube when you access the YouTube itself. So sometimes there are some content sa YouTube nga uwa na filter masyado, so naga-pop up sa aton yung mga students, especially if they are not using the kid YouTube. Also, some teachers who are using blended learning, where content is delivered for enrichment, remediation, or self-paced lessons, they can utilize Schoology for this one. So teachers and students can link their Schoology account to their Google account as well. So it's as easy as that, right? So what else? What that we can do with regards to Schoology? You can actually provide assessments here. So your tests and quizzes can be uploaded. Of course, there is immediate feedback. Once they answer it, automatically the correct answer is reflected. They can actually do this asynchronously too. So differentiated assessments can be given anonymously, and the best thing about this, atong ginapabudlayan kong amat when we are having the electronic classroom, electronic class record, the ECR, our encoding, it's automatically encoded, and then we can just copy and paste it. So how are the teachers using Schoology? So these are actually facts associated with the use of Schoology from the US. So there are teacher-to-teacher collaboration. You can actually share the platform with another teacher so that you can share ideas, especially if you are sharing the same subjects. So you can share it with other people too, not just from your school, but from other schools, district, divisions, region, and even in the entire nation. So you can also create groups such as clubs or teams. You can also collect work and grade them electronically. You can also integrate other web tools into the instruction. So aside from that, there are a lot of purposes of Schoology. Okay, now here are some examples of how educators around the world, especially in the US, are using Schoology to transform learning. So for example, let's take a look at number one. A football coach in Alabama uses Schoology to teach his players about opposing teams. So after teaching these players, there is another test or quiz that he will actually give the entire team. And those who pass the test are only allowed to play the game. So another example is that an educator in Ohio uses Schoology to teach his third graders how to write creatively, proofread, and collaborate. So there's another one. So like for example, you are from Manila and then you're teaching people from Mindanao. You can actually manage your classroom wherever you are. So this is the beauty of distance learning. So number four, bridging the gap across states and learning levels. So a professor in one country or one state, in a high school teacher in another state or another province can actually talk, and then they can have in-depth discussion about how they can use the platform for the benefit of each other. So there are other uses that we can actually include, embed, and utilize using the Schoology platform. So as mentioned earlier, Schoology is similar to Facebook when it comes to features, but there is a specific part here wherein you can sign up whether you are an instructor, a student, or a parent. Yes, if you could notice, parents are included in one of the platforms. So you can actually have access to your son or daughter's content, as well as whatever the teacher is providing, whether it's ethical or not. So you can actually be included as part. Well, we already know that parents are also stakeholders of the education. So of course, we need to include the parents here. Okay. So as mentioned earlier, Schoology is similar with Facebook. But let's take a look at the advantages or the features that differentiate the two. With Schoology, it's limited only to students and teachers of an organization. So when you create an account, let's say your school bought an account from Schoology, So only the people who have the specific domain or those emails that are associated with that certain institution can access that. So privacy of content can still be managed because of that. So students cannot create their own updates or pages. It's only the teachers who can do that. Okay, student can only comment the discussions or topics and that the teachers have posted in areas the teachers monitor. Now, when it comes to Facebook, as the major social media platform around the world, anybody can join. Even ang mga 13 years old or below, they can join Facebook. They can just create a fake age, no? They can fake their age so that they can join Facebook. The users get their own pages to post updates and pictures as well. So unlike in Schoology, it's managed by the teachers and the organization itself. Okay, so another difference is this. While in Facebook, the focus is social and the users can easily post and then delete or remove the privacy themselves. Here in Schoology, there is a feature wherein we can track and we can actually retrieve the comments that were deleted. So all student interactions are logged. The teachers demonstrate all discussions and can control whether student comments must be approved before they appear in the course for some reasons related to gender and development. Okay? And as mentioned, kung sa Facebook social ang focus, sa Schoology, the focus is academic. So, more on collaboration, more on engaging about academics. So, naka-focus on the studies and not or interacting regarding sa mga chismis. Okay? So, now, another thing. In Schoology, teachers can enhance their classroom with digital tools in a safe and monitored environment. It is also, as mentioned, safe, secure, and no ads. Okay? And it can be monitored by the teacher. Now, the Facebook itself, why not mga academic tools? And at the same time, the ads are just there. They float freely based on your data. No? So, Mark Zuckerberg can actually send you advertisement that are not really related to what you're looking for. And while you're watching videos, they just pop up. So that's really irrelevant with education and it really disrupts the educational process. Okay, so how do we create a Schoology account? It's just the same with creating a Facebook account. So just go to www.schoology.com and so on and so forth. Actually, I would not advise everybody to go to this website yet and create your own account because you might be surprised at what you will be seeing later on. Okay, and so afterwards you can actually create everything whether you're a teacher. So just make sure to register as an instructor rather than a student or as a parent. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, last August 19, 2020, this pandemic actually altered the course of online interaction and blended learning. So what happened is that you cannot create your own accounts now as an instructor unless your school has bought a subscription from Schoology. So unfortunately, this is only limited to those people who can afford to buy a subscription from Schoology. So the main reason is this. With an increasing number of schools and districts relying on Schoology learning, they actually need people who can troubleshoot and provide them support. And, well, they can only provide as much as the number of payment that they receive. So it's quite justifiable for them to ask for payment for the services that they provide. Okay, but please don't worry because we have another platform here that I'm going to introduce. And I know that you're familiar with this one. The most common formative online platform, which is Kahoot. Now, on the left-hand side, I think you're familiar with that one too. It's the Squid Game, the most popular one. The Squid Game that most kids or millennials nowadays are very familiar with, no? So I actually relate Kahoot to the Squid Game because you can actually kind of make a parallel of what you can do with the several steps or games that we have in Squid Game, then and what we can do with Kahoot. Okay, so what is Kahoot? Kahoot is a completely free multi-device classroom response system for creating and administering unique game-like quizzes that empowers educators and captivates learners of any age. By the way, fellow teachers, can you still hear me? I really don't know if I'm still visible, and somebody can please confirm.
Sir.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
sir. Loud and clear.
All right. So,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. Now, take note, Kahoot is actually a very user-friendly formative assessment platform that we can use for asynchronous and synchronous online learning. So, let's take a look. No? You can actually use Kahoot in subjects like in English. We have these multiple choice questions that you can create, no? So just like in any curriculum, the best way for us to introduce something is to make it output based, no, or outcome based. So when you create quizzes like this one that are very engaging, take a look, no, studyhan din siguro it may because the colors really attracts children, no? So red, yellow, the basic primary colors, and they are kind of pastel colors. You can use Kahoot also in social studies. Now take a look at the feature. May una kita nga time iya, which is 28 seconds. So that we can actually customize our assessment by making sure that the time would be enough for them to choose the correct answer. Okay? Now you can even use it in science. Also, other uses of Kahoot is that it can be utilized as a global classroom. Like ikaw, pwede kang katuro sa other countries because of this one. In my online classrooms for Japanese and Russian students, I also use Kahoot in giving them quizzes. And it's quite fantastic because they enjoy it, especially if they have competitions with other students. Okay, now you can use Kahoot also for surveys, especially if you're doing research, no? Since the platform is quite very entertaining to students, the survey questions that you can create is quite interesting for them. You can also challenge learners like, hey, anybody who can get the top trophy can actually win this one. So this is a positive reinforcement in accordance to Skinner's operant conditioning. No? Kay Burroughs Frederick Skinner's operant conditioning, the use of rewards and reinforcements. And as mentioned, Kahoot is so fun. You can actually be engaged. You can include videos, pictures, and other media, which can actually enhance the game-based or the gamified-based assessment. Okay. Now, although it's the diagnostic test can be more of informal, you can actually make it more of formal as afterwards. No. At the same time, it can also encourage reflection. You can even add there some other types of questions or templates. And the good thing about this, in flipped classroom, no, as a model in curriculum development or teaching strategy, so flipped classroom, you can start with a quiz, and that will be a motivation for the rest to study. Okay? So let's have a walkthrough of the Kahoot. So I would suggest everybody to go to www.kahoot.com first. Okay? May I ask everyone if you're able to access one tab for for Kahoot. That's www.kahoot.com. Nag-aantong ka mo sa Kahoot? Kasi it would be easier for me
Yes,
to
sir.
explain. Okay, thank you. Alright,
Yes,
so
sir.
once there, you just need to log in. Sige natin i-log in. Hara, pen. Okay. So the login is here, no? And then I highly suggest that you log in using your Google account, so that you don't need to actually kind of create a new password and so on and so forth. So log in and then log in with your Google account. Okay? So once you're there, the platform would actually look like this. Just click on go to basic if ever may nag-pop up una. And then you have to click create. So it's in the upper right hand corner. You can see there, create, share, the bell icon, and the profile that you created. Okay? Just let me know if I'm actually fast in navigating you to this walkthrough. Okay. Next, you have to choose your template. Once you click on the create button, the following templates will appear. So, as of the moment, no, we have these different mga templates such as for surveys, for teaching, for spelling. Okay, we also have blind Kahoot and other forms. So let's just go with the basic first, the formative assessment. So click on this one, Kahoot for formative assessment. Okay, then your setup or your platform will appear like this. So if you could have noticed, on the upper left hand corner, you can see there Kahoot, no, the icon. Beside that, you will be able to see settings, no, and Kahoot for formative assessment. Now, when you click the settings button, what will appear will be a setting wherein you can change the names of or the name of the assessment that you created. Okay? So, take a look at the basic nga mga shapes na gingamit. We have here triangle, no, circle, square. So, very familiar, right? If you have watched the Squid Game, these are the three major nga mga shapes na gingamit nanda. Not the usual nga, A, B, C, or D. So, we are using actually the shapes, no? And this one too. So, you can actually put here the questions. Then you can add pictures, videos, and GIFs on this one. Just click remove and then the icon will be different, no? And you can click that and ma-appear dayon do mga choices na pwede may butang. Now, as a user-friendly platform, you can just double-click the mga choices iya to add your own choices. Now, here on the right-hand side, you can also perform a lot of customization. So, pwede ang quiz, ma-change natin into other forms. The time limit per item can also be reduced or increased. The standardized points can be changed as well. And the type of options. You can even duplicate the slide para mas madali mo dayon ma-create do the next. Okay? So let's take a look. Alright, so just click that remove and this will appear as mentioned. So example, the question is this one. So pwede ka mag-add una i-click mo daya and what will appear, no? Pag click mo it plus button, this will appear. So you can add images, GIFs, or videos. You can upload images. You can even upload videos. Or you can just search sa YouTube for the videos that you're going to upload. Okay? Alright, so dahil ang number na pag kinlik nyo na quiz, mega pop-up dahil yung mga choices, whether it's true or false, or multiple choice, no? Or free typing of answers. And sometimes it's even a puzzle form. Really, gamification is really there. Okay? So, other choices that you can see, daya. Okay. So, as mentioned earlier, pag kinlik nyo yung settings, iya sa ibabaw, we can actually change the settings, no? Like the title, the description, and once you're done, just click done, no? It's very easy. You can even add pictures here para ma-change natin, no? aton nga mga formative assessment to suit to topic. Okay? So just remember, once you click save, no? Once you click save, natin makita the save. It's here. Okay? Pag nag-ubra ka na changes, i-click yung to save, and after clicking save, this will appear on your My Kahoot. Iyaw dahil atong ha-create nga mga quizzes. Okay? So, just let me know if it's very fast. So, the atong nga quiz is already there, no? Now, I actually created a lot of quizzes there on my own Kahoot platform. So, when I click the My Kahoots, these are the quizzes that appear. So, I have a lot of choices whether I can edit it, balik ako ito sa editing page, or I can click on play so that I can play it with my students. Okay? So, click play and this will appear. So, as a teacher, of course, you have to click on teach, right? You can assign it to students for asynchronous na mga quizzes, but that's not really advisable. Kasi for us to have more engagement, as mentioned, please do it synchronously, no, as much as possible if the internet and the students will permit it. Okay? So once you click that, you will go to this page. So hararatong title it quiz kaina. Just click on classic. Alright? And you will be diverted to this part. Okay? And you have to ask student to go to kahoot.it, not kahoot.com. Okay? Remember, it's kahoot.it para randa nga page will appear differently. And they have to enter this pin para mag-agto sa imong mga questions. So, once they click on the pin, they will be required to put their name. So, I highly suggest that they put their last name and their first name initial. Like, Nagal, R. Para makita nyo, ma-appear dayon imong iya. Or mga names, itato ng mga players. So, once you already have the suitable number of players, just click on start. And the game will begin. Now, take note, Kahoot would actually tell you nga up to 10 lang no pwede makasugod. But mind you, I actually tried and tested this one that more than 10 are actually allowed to play the Kahoot. So it's just like an advice that you have to purchase something, no, from Kahoot. Okay? So remember to share your screen, when doing asynchronous, so via Google Meet or via Teams, so that the options will appear. Now, the symbols for choices are the only ones that are visible to the students. So, what dahil nag-appear sa student, dayang mga daya, mga choices. Only the symbols, daya yung nag-appear kanda. Okay? So, these are the things that appear on their end. Now, the good thing is that the score is updated for every questions afterwards. Once you click next, ma-appear dayon do mga scores. Okay? And the winner is also announced. So take note, it's kind of, I would say this is a fair game, no? Especially if everybody else has good internet connection. Kasi the speed of answering as well as the accuracy of the answer determines the score of the students. So let's try Kahoot, no? Alright. So this is, can you see my screen po? Can somebody confirm if they can see my screen? Sa
Yes,
Kahoot?
sir. You can see your screen.
Alright, so let's begin by going to www.kahoot.com. Okay. So this will appear on your screen. So just click on login. Then the screen will turn differently. So instead of using or logging in with a different email, just click on continue with your Google account. You may actually use the DepEd account. So Let me try to use one of my accounts here. Okay, I'll use this one.
Abog changes ay.
Oo, ano ta dapat kay uga pa ni
Yes
oras.
po.
First anang pagturo sa adlaw.
May question po, Bation.
2 days, 60 times 2 equals
Okay.
120. Times 3 equals 360. Doing 1 per week.
Alright. So once you're already in the Kahoot platform, once you're already logged in, so you can see here, this is your home page, no? So if you already have the account, you can actually navigate through it and then do a lot of stuff, no? For you to be able to play with it, and then once you're done playing with it, you can easily navigate through it and tell your students how to do it. So, hambay na akong kaina, just click on create. So, once you click on create, I would rather use the template nga iyagon available. And I can choose the questions. So usually may ato niya yung mga templates for different types of questions. So we have here the multiple choice questions with a sample nga picture. So if ever gusto natong island the picture, click on remove and butang kita it bago nga picture, for example. So may mga pictures available online, i-click lang natin daya, no? So once we click that, or this, I'm sorry, no? Hindi natin maklik kasi this is for paid accounts. So, let's say, let's just upload an image na madali natin makita. Na, daya. And, it depends on your internet connection whether dasig ka na mapag-upload or hindi. So, after a while, no, of uploading, the picture will appear there, no? Pwede na mong maging hint. Like, for example, what is the title of today's webinar? Okay, put a question mark. Take note the character number is 80 is dahil aton nga naga-signify kung pila lang do ma-type naton sa questions. So how do we put our questions, our choices or options? Let's say Kahoot, first choice. And then since this is the correct answer, I'll put a check here by clicking here, no? And uncheck here. Kasi dahil saga. Then I'll put here other choices such as Schoology. Let's say this one is Facebook. This one is Instagram. Right? So, take note, automatically nag-save mo sa imong mga drafts. Now, the type of question, as mentioned, pwede natin maging true or false, pwede nga type answer or puzzle. So, the time limit for each of them, you can have it 20 seconds, 5 seconds, even 2 minutes. No? Lalo na kung solving. So, the standard points, I would suggest you just use the standard. And for single correct answer, mas madali natin ma-detect kung tama ka sa bat by clicking on single correct answers. Now, the next slide, after doing the first slide, you can go directly by clicking here on the left, the second slide. No? Let's say, aton yung obrahon is true or false. So, naga-change man na into template. So, as mentioned, kaina, once you're done creating your Kahoot, no, your formative assessment, you can even click on settings and change natin imo iya. Let's say, pangalanan natin imo Kahoot sample test. You can add descriptions. You can save it to My Kahoots. And then click on done if you're done, but if you can actually change the cover also, no, by clicking on change. Okay, so once clicking on done, so everything will be changed, like the title has already been changed, and then click on Save button. So, all questions dahil ma-upload, no? Okay, so true or false natin, uwa natin ang butang. So, automatically masabat man ay mga butang natin ay true. Okay, so save. And everything is already saved. So, once done, just click on done. Now, you are back to your platform. Kung saan nakalista na yung mga samples. So, piliin mo dayon iya. So, let's for example play this one. The trivia questions, no? So, kung may ugang pa kita, i-click ang your edit para mabalik ito, and then you can actually change everything. You can add, subtract, or even modify the questions. So, if you are now okay nga pwede rin mo magamit, just click on play. Okay? And then we click on teach. Alright. After which, you will be diverted to Kahoot.it. So, may I suggest everybody, okay, to please open Kahoot.it, no? So, once I click Classic, it will already go there, no? So, Kahoot.it. So, mga ma'ams and sirs, please go to Kahoot.it and then put this pin 3195302. Wapat nagasugod. Mga ma'ams and sirs, so let's try to play this one. Okay, we have John B. Lacson. Ano da? Okay, Ma'am Russell Kiliano, Ma'am Bella. Okay, so, Ma'am Star Remola.
Jose Borromeo, sir.
Jose Borromeo. Galing. Sorry, sir. Sir James is here. So this is why I suggest nga last name and then comma, first name para madali ma-determine kayo inyong teacher or madali nyo ma-determine kung sino or nagsugugod. So we already have 6, 7 for Ma'am Ira Joy. May award kay Sir Louie do may hayas ka. Sir Louie, no? Tama.
Sure, sir. One piece of coupon band.
Ay, wow. Okay. So, as mentioned, hambay na ako kay Ina, no, nga, up to 10 lang, gahambay ro Kahoot nga, only 10 people are allowed to join. But if you could notice, we are already 16. And, counting. So, Sir Roman, so, maka 20, ma-stop na kita, ha? Oy, 21, dasig. Okay? So, I'll give you like 10 more seconds to join for a chance to win a brand new car from Sir Louis Ribotar. Tama, sir? Pwede natin matawan, sir, certificate of merit for winning the Kahoot game.
Sige, sir. Sige, sir.
Ay, sige. Thank you, good sir. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we have 26 people who joined the game. I'm going to click on start. So makikita ninyo, no, ga-appear na sa inyo nga platform or cell phone are only the choices. So the questions are reflected here in our device. So first question, which of the following organs is responsible for the control of the pumping of the heart? Okay, the timer is 20 seconds on the left. There are only 2 people who answered. 4 people. Bilis po. May timer una. 3, 2, 1, and up. So automatically, Kahoot will reveal who answered correctly. So immediate the feedbacking, no? So the answer here is SA node or the sinoatrial node. So there are 4 people who got it correctly. Those nga nag-shade it or nag-press it diamond. Okay? So after that, we go on to the next question. Ready everyone po? Okay, here's your next question. 20 seconds. And by the way, congratulations to Sir Jomer. He is leading the game, no, for the first question. By the way, the game is scored based on your speed of answering as well as the accuracy of your answers. So when we click on next, daya-daya appear. Next question. So on the internet, what does URLs mean? Okay, may typographical error. So is it uniform resource locators, universal resource locators, unique resource locators, unidentified request launchers? 3, 2, 1. Alright, and the answer is revealed, no? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Abo kita nag-answer sa universal, okay? Next. Sir Jomer is still leading the game. Alright? So, no, wag na chance karoon nga mag-search kasi 20 seconds man lang unless super dasig nga internet. So, Lapu-Lapu was killed by Magellan in Mactan. Is it true or is it false? Okay. Oh my God, may nag-answer pa. It's true. Remember na si Magellan, arugin patay bukod na si Lapu-Lapu. Okay. And, oh, wow. Sir Vess is now on the lead. Slowly tailed by Sir Jomer and Ma'am Bella. Now let's continue. How long is an Olympic swimming pool in meters? So sa mga PE teachers, you should know this.
The USA, more medals for them.
So if you could notice, I added a YouTube video of Phelps from the US. And the answer is 50 meters. So only 3 got it correctly. And let's see who's on the lead. Wow, Sir Vess is still in the lead, followed by Dalagsaan Integrated School. Sino sa Dalagsaan Integrated School? Si Ma'am Leonelyn Daya? Okay, now let's just continue. Right, last question. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis is the longest word name for a disease that affects the... Is it the lungs, the genitals, the brains, or the skin? This time I added a GIF. But it's not really related to the question. And let's see who got it correctly. Wow, almost everybody got it correctly. It's a disease affecting the lungs, no? That is accumulation of lahar sa aton nga lungs. And the third is Sir James, followed by the Dalagsaan Integrated School. And the first one is none other than Sir Vess. So congratulations, Sir Vess. So we have runners up here from Makato and Ma'am Roswell. So congratulations for participating, everybody. I hope that you really enjoyed these questions, no? And when we click on next, you can actually see, no? We can actually do like an item analysis because makita nato, no? The 3 questions here are already tagged as difficult questions kasi sangkiri ro nakasabat. So these are questions number 4, how long the Olympic size, so question number 1, and question number 2. So you can also view the full report, no? Just click on view report, and you will be routed to a website wherein you can easily see the scores of all the participants. So let's check kung pila aton yung mga scores, kung sino ang nangulelat. Now by the way, the problem with Kahoot is that kung mahina ang internet, then that will also cause some problems, no? So we click on players, and you will be routed to the page of their scores or their final scores. So si Sir Ves, naka-answer siguro at question number 1, but see, no? It doesn't mean first impression last kasi he emerged as the winner, slowly tailed by the Lagsaan Integrated School. Okay? So, you can click see more to see the scores of everyone. So, daya ako hambal nga mas better kung naka apelido para madali dahil imo makita. Okay? So, you can actually check here, no? Mga people who needs help, kasi may andang mga unanswered or malaba andang mga scores, and people who did not finish. Alright. Okay, so after trying it out, mga ma'am and sir, si Sir Ves. May I know po si Sir Ves, sino imaw? Hello?
Hello sir, good afternoon. From Actress po.
Ay, sir. Ang full
Hello
name
po.
po, Sir Louie. May aton, sir, nga. Winner, sir.
I'm listening, sir. Just get the complete name, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mark Barrera po.
So, Sir Vesmark Barrera, you earned a certificate of merit for winning our Kahoot game for today's activity. Okay, Miss Andicar. Sir Louie, thank you po.
Thank you.
Alright. So now let's continue, no? So what are the pros and cons of using the Kahoot? No, as ahambal na akong kaina, we can engage participation kasi the adrenaline rush nga nakikreate naton when the questions are timed, it also are generating a response of fight or flight sa aton yung mga students. So when we generate that, nagadagagan it mayadro aton nga utak because of the mild anxiety that it creates. And Kahoot is very easy, no? Very user-friendly sa mga students and even to creators like us. And the results are real-time. As you can see, nag-reflect kung sino nagdaog. So, it's very easy. Hindi kita mag-manual checking. And you can download the results for analysis too. Now, the cons are that sometimes, no, mas madali ang natong checking if we are using multiple choice questions. It requires all students to have internet-capable devices and only shows the questions only through the teacher's computer. That's why we require another platform para makita ng questions, like Teams, Google Meet, and so on. And the thing is that it also depends on the internet connection of the teacher para mag-appear do questions aside its students. Okay? So, may final thought for everybody. This is your workshop. So, create kita. It's simple nga Kahoot. Mga 5 questions lang. Bahala ka mo mag-navigate, magpanami-nami it inyong mga outputs. No? So, how do we grade it? No? One per district lang. Tapos, inyong obrahon, using OBS, since include yung kainan and day ma'am, sa agahon the OBS studio. Create ka mo at OBS, i-record ninyo sa OBS studio, ro inyong pag-create, as well as ro inyong paggamit, no? You can use your students or your friends to answer it in real time. And let's see the andang interaction. So, doon mo lang 5 questions sa inyong workshop. Questions po for the workshop? Okay, so, okay, so I'm gonna tell you one more thing about the Kahoot platform, no? Here, you can actually click on this part, no, sa home page. Click nyo the home. You can click on share. And then, you can either choose from share the Kahoot that you created or assign it to the students. the upgrade now is actually paid, no? So, iyan kita sa Daiwa. Pwede natin i-share to Kahoot. Let's say, gusto ko i-share to trivia question. So, i-click na akong dato, agbutang ako yet name or email ad. May account si Sir Louie, iya. Ay, bago nga Louie. So, i-click na akong to share, and Louie here will have the same quizzes. Okay, or you can type here the email address, no? Okay, and it will appear. Now, there's another one, no? So, pag click natin it share, you can click on assign, and you can assign, let's say, this one to your students. So, paano ron? Butangan natin oras, like, let's say, November 14 and the subtan, and then time will begin at 12 p.m. So the timer on every question will also be applicable. So kung 20 seconds per question, i-click mo roon. You can even randomize the questions or the answer, no? I mean, the answer can be randomized by clicking on. And kung gusto mo nga bukod binastos ang mga pangalan, just click on this one. Okay? So, it says player limit is 10, but the truth is, we can exceed that, no? And then click on create. So, once you click on create, it will appear on your homepage, on the reports page. So, makita nyo, no? It will end in 3 days. Start is today until November 14 at 12 p.m. So, you can even change the deadline. You can customize that. Or, kung gusto mo, tapuson yagi mo karon, click on end now. So how do you share it to people? Just click on copy URL and give them the pin. The pin is here. The same goes, no? So copied. So let's say kung copy yun man, no? And then send you sa andang GC, i-click daya, i-save natin sa website, and copy natin the pin. So the Kahoot is already loading. Okay? So, the same daan ang gawa ka platform. And you can type your name here. Or spin mo, Crazy Tiger ka man. Dahil may auto-generation na kita kaina. And then, click OK. Once you click on OK, you're already there. No? You can start answering the questions immediately. Okay, so that is how easy it is. Okay. So, any questions po? Before I end my presentation? Alright, so I just want to share this quote to everybody. No? So, when the darkness envelopes the night sky, and the battle has begun, the wolves shall scream our perish, but we shall taste triumph at the dawn of the rising sun. So, Hiraya Manawari from Raphael Kevin I. Nagal, a lifelong learner. So, if you think that you cannot finish this, just think of this quote and you will be victorious at the end. So, thank you so much for listening and for participating well on our discussion for today. As mentioned, it doesn't matter whatever your age is. It's never too late to play. So, once again, thank you.